All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to the Add1Challenge finale event. And my name is Brian Kwong. I'm the founder of the Add1Challenge, and we have a really exciting event going on today. So first of all, let me introduce the three amazing polyglots that are with us today, right now. So first of all, we have Richard Simcott. Hello, Richard.
Hello there. Thank you for
He's the
having me.
he's the founder of the Polyglot Conference, and the conference coming up, right? When is it?
Yeah, so we're going to New York in October. So yeah, polyglotconference.com, and you can find out all the details and sign up.
All right, it's in New York. It's going to be amazing. I've been to the first two, and then it's well worth it. So the second polyglot we're going to introduce is Benny Lewis from FluentIn3months.com. Hi, Benny.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Cool, awesome. And then we have Judith. Hi, Judith.
Hi there. Hi there.
Judith is an organizer of the Polyglot Gathering from Berlin. And yeah, so okay. And then we also have the three. So why are we here today? Let's talk about why we're here today. So in the past 90 days, 80 participants in Add1Challenge took on the Add1Challenge, and the Add1Challenge is about learning to hold a 15-minute conversation in target language in 90 days. 15-minute conversation in 90 days. And after passing all the requirements, after all the voting, it's up the first two rounds, and then we have three finalists. That could, one winner would get to win a free round-trip ticket to the country that, the target language country. So we have Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Italy, but I'm currently living in Scotland.
In Scotland. Okay.
But my native language is Italian.
Got it. And what language did you take on in the Add1Challenge?
I took on French.
French. Okay, great. And then we have Jake.
Hi.
Hi, Jake. So where are you from right now? Where are you located?
I'm from Australia, living in Melbourne.
Awesome. And what language did you take on in the last 90 days?
I learned Mandarin Chinese.
Awesome. And then we have Yin. Hi, Yin.
Hello.
Hey, where are you right now?
I'm from America. My native language is English, and I took on Swedish.
Awesome. So one of these finalists will win a free round-trip ticket to their target language country. But before we before we announce the winner, so while we have the three amazing polyglots here, why don't we just talk about the topic of how they stay motivated throughout their language learning journey. So, who wants to go first? How about Richard?
Okay. So motivation is probably one of the key things, I think, in continuing your language studies. And I think the thing for me that's most important is setting goals that are realistic, that you need, and that support actually the reason why you're learning the language. So being realistic with what you're going to use it for, how you're going to use it to be able to keep it up in the future, are really key. And then finding ways then to use it and integrate it into your life, so it becomes a lifestyle choice and not just learning a language for the sake of, it's like sewing a badge on your sleeve. It needs to be something that you can physically use, keep up with, and be enjoyable for that reason. So whatever your language, whatever the goal that you set, that's really what can keep you motivated, in addition to finding things that you generally find interesting.
Awesome. Cool. And that's what kept you learning so many languages?
Definitely. So, you know, for me, really is what I can use in my day-to-day life. So to give you a couple of examples from my own life, I took Macedonian to a very high level, so to a near native level, simply because it's a language that I use with my family. here in the Republic of Macedonia, and so I need to understand the language on a lot of different levels to be able to understand jokes, be able to communicate in a very colloquial, normal way that people understand, also to deal with authority, so go to any departments I need to, or fill out any forms, or deal with formal language. So I have to be able to manage myself on really a wide breadth of what the language is about. And then I have other languages like Greek, which I use just to go on holiday, or just for quick trips over the border for a nice meal. I need to be able to order something nice to eat, find out where things are. So I only need a basic level, which I'm quite comfortable with. So really, doing it with those goals in mind helps to keep you motivated. I think one of the mistakes that many people do make is that they'll say, I want to learn a language, and they just go for the whole language. And it's like standing at the bottom of Everest and trying to just run up it. And that can be demotivating. But not always a bad thing to consider, you know, having everything, you want to do everything, but also just to take it into chunks so that you can manage it. Manageable bites, I suppose, is the best way of putting it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing with us, Nathan. All right, let's go to Benny. What keeps you motivated in your language journey?
I would repeat a lot of what Richard said and kind of emphasize the chunks and especially milestones. So I would look at the European Common Framework, and like Richard said, if you just say, I want to master the language, I want to know the whole language, it is like climbing Mount Everest. But if you say, okay, for the next, whatever it is, month or two, or if you're working very busily for the next few months, I want to reach an A1 level. And you use that as your milestone. And it's A1 is the only thing in the world you care about. And you don't worry about the fact that you're not able to debate politics and all of that. The only thing worth being successful in is that A1 goal. And then when you get to that A1 goal, you aim for the A2 goal, and so on. And it's very, very important to realize what you can't do. So I just accept I'm not going to be able to have flowing conversations at A1 level. I'm not going to be able to talk in depth about things. I'm not going to understand a lot or most of things that are spoken back to me. So you accept that, and it makes it a lot easier to keep motivated. And then another thing is I would use resources and tools that are enjoyable. So I made a very big mistake. I always joke about it when I was starting my Spanish. Is I picked up El Señor de los Anillos, The Lord of the Rings, on my first week of trying to learn Spanish, and I figured I'll just read this book from start to finish, and then I'll speak fluent Spanish. And it didn't work out that way because it was too complicated for me, and it took me weeks to get to page 2. Whereas what I have done as an A1 beginner is pick up a comic book or a manga if I wanted to improve my reading skills, because those are much more enjoyable at my level, and it's very visual, and there's a couple of words and I can pick up from the context what they're likely talking about. So if you aim too high, then you will feel demotivated. So try to do something that you are both using the language but in an enjoyable way, if possible.
Cool. Sorry, I need to unmute myself to speak. Awesome, thank you for sharing that, Benny. All right, so Judith, so what kept you motivated?
Yeah, I would also repeat a lot of what was already said, but maybe I can add one idea, and that is that I don't necessarily go for a full level, say A to B1 or so. Sometimes I want to do that, but I know that maybe compared to others, I lose motivation quite quickly. So for me, it is really important to reach a level where I can use the language, even in a small way, very, very quickly, so that using the language continues to give me motivation. And so I might accept, for example, not being very good at writing the language, but being able to speak it rather well. This is what I did with Hebrew. Or when I was studying Japanese, I focused completely on understanding a certain TV series that I was interested in. And I wasn't good at speaking, I wasn't good at reading, but I was able to understand this TV series pretty quickly. And that is because I really decided to focus on one ability and one particular context in which I want to use the language, and then being able to do that, being able to understand a TV series, gave me the ability to do something in Japanese that gave me that was fun, that kept me motivated, and then I continued to do some conversational Japanese and branch out into other ideas, and that's what I'm planning to do with Hebrew now too. You know, I did the Add1Challenge with Hebrew, and my focus was really to be able to have conversations, because I know that once I'm able to have even some basic conversations with my friends in Hebrew, because I have some Israeli friends here in Berlin, then I will be able to keep motivated enough to also master written Hebrew, to be able to master reading Hebrew newspapers. I know it will take a lot longer, but I'm already able to do something with the language, and that will keep me motivated for the rest.
I see. Getting the small wins, huh? And then built up on it. That's what I hear.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing what kept you guys motivated. So now let's go to the finalists. All right. So so I want to hear like why. So you guys share what language you learn. So Sarah, why did you pick your target language?
Okay, there are many reasons why I choose to study French, but the main one is that I just love the sound of it, so I love listening to it and speaking it or trying to. So I like myself speaking French, and I think this is really important, because if you try to speak something but you don't really like the sound of it, there's nothing you can do. And then I really thought that French was not for me, that I wasn't good at it, because I did a little bit at school when I was 10 or 11, and I don't even remember what we did. And then when I saw that it wasn't that difficult, everything was so much fun.
So Jake, so why did you take on Mandarin Chinese?
Well, it's actually quite a funny story because at first I was going to learn Italian, and then and then and then it cost like quite a lot of money for me, a 14-year-old, and then my mum said, because I was doing French and Chinese at school, she said I'll help you pay for some of it if you do French or Chinese. And then my French level was already pretty good, so I thought, okay, I'm going to do Chinese. And then this was a horrible reason at first, and then but then at the start of the challenge, I wrote down a lot of reasons why I wanted to learn Chinese, and some of them that I came up with was one of my aunties on my mum's side only speaks Chinese, and then so I thought, well, I can communicate with her now, and then if I learn Chinese, and then as well as being spoken by a lot of people, and then I still have that list somewhere on my computer, and then every time I sort of lost motivation or anything, I opened it up, and then I read through it again, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to learn Chinese now.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jake. Okay, how about Yin? Why did you take on your target language?
So I took on Swedish, and I have the possibility of studying abroad in 2 years in Sweden, so that's why I chose Swedish, and I guess it made it a little bit easier for me to stay motivated, because I knew that in the future I might have to live my life through the language for an extended period of time, and even if I don't end up getting to go to Sweden, then I still have this beautiful language and beautiful culture and history behind me that can constantly keep me going. So
So now why don't we just go straight in? What did you guys learn in the last 90 days? So Sarah, why don't you go first? What did you learn in the last 90 days, taking on your
Okay.
language in the Add1Challenge?
So I've learned that at the beginning, maybe you think, well, I want to learn this or that. It doesn't need to be necessarily language, but anything you want to learn. And I think in our culture we are used to think, oh, it's a big thing. You will need a lot of effort and you will need a lot of time, an entire life. And in fact, you often hear people saying, oh, you're too old to start doing this or doing that. But it's not true. And if you really dedicate yourself to something, and in this case, it's a language, in just 3 months, you can get a lot, really a lot, because I feel that I can go and I can speak and I can survive. I will not die or starving. And so yes, I forgot what I was saying, but yes, so you don't have to be scared of something that looks big, because it's not, and you take it day by day. And my schedule was just 4 hours per week, which is for me is not very much. And then I did more because I was just so much into it that I couldn't help with it, and I had to watch movies and speak and everything else. And then I learned that I love doing it in a group. I need to share to do my best.
Cool. Thank you for sharing what you learned. So just take it one like small bites, and nothing is too big. You can make a lot of progress in 90 days. That's exactly what the Add1Challenge is about. Because learning a language, to speak a language looks like Mount Everest, like Richard was talking about. But if you take it day by day, 90 days, you can make it really far. Awesome. All right. So Jake, what did you learn in the last 90 days?
Well, similar to what Sarah said, I think one of the things I learned was not to listen to what everyone else says, and especially in Melbourne, Australia, a lot of Chinese background students don't actually speak Chinese, but they go to a Chinese school, and they do this from very young, like from 7 years old or above, and then they go to it for 7 or 8 years, and then they only get to maybe like a B1, B2 level, and then when I told them about the Add1Challenge and what I was doing, trying to get to a B1 level in 90 days, they said, "Oh, there's no way you're going to do it. I've been doing Chinese school for 8 years, and like that's my level now." And then when I did it, and then I passed the HSK3, they were like, "Oh, okay." And then suddenly they were all interested in how I'd been learning, and then because they'd been used to the traditional classroom method, which doesn't really work. And then when I finished the 90 days, suddenly I got all these people watching my YouTube videos, watching my journey, and then and I explained to them what I'd been doing over the past 90 days.
Cool. All right. Thank you for sharing, Jake. How about Yin? What did you learn in the last 90 days?
Well, I learned that probably the biggest factor is probably people in general. When I felt like I had this entire community behind me and constantly pushing me through, and seeing other people's progress and people that just nonstop tell you that you can do it, that's the greatest thing that can really get you through any amount of time that you need. Because I mean, like, I had one point in particular which I believe most people in our Facebook group know about, where I was extremely low. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do, and I thought about not posting it a couple times or taking it down or something, but I never did. And the group and the people in the group definitely got me through, and the community was the biggest thing. Every single day when I sat down to do Swedish, I have this entire community behind me, and I'm not gonna fail them. So that was probably the biggest thing for me.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, and good on you for pushing through, and everybody got everybody's back in that one challenge. So that's what Ian was talking about. Awesome. All right. So, what are we going to talk about next? So, any comments, Richard, Benny, or Judith? Especially Judith, because you did that one challenge. You participated in that one challenge with us. So, any feedback, any comments you guys want to make? Hearing from the participants.
I also found it incredibly motivating to do this challenge and to see others' progress and to have some accountability, because it's not my strong suit, and I found it really helpful to be doing it as a group, and also to check into my Facebook, and instead of seeing the random crap that people post, I see some motivational messages about how people have been learning the languages or how they have been making progress and the like.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was the same for me. I stopped looking at normal Facebook things, and I only looked up at the Add1Challenge page, and that was great.
Awesome. Richard, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say we've got three great finalists here on this hangout. But as you said in the beginning, there were 80 plus people who actually took part. I saw some of the other videos as well, and there were some really interesting language choices. And I think, especially some of the very small languages that I saw, people have been doing Gaelic, people have been doing Basque, languages that you don't always consider. And I think, actually,
Burmese.
Yeah, but these kinds of languages are not the sort of mainstream, and I think probably what's helped with that kind of thing as well is seeing that there are avenues to explore to actually get to learn these languages too. So participating in a challenge like this and putting videos out there, it actually helps in a number of ways, because it shows people that it's possible, in terms of you can break down a language into these chunks that we were talking about, and having a reason and an idea and a goal for why we're doing it. But also for some of these more sort of interesting language choices, so to say, that you don't go into bookshops and see lots and lots of things. See French and Chinese particularly, you see quite a lot of quite well-stocked shelves when you go in, because they're quite popular languages. Swedish possibly less so. But something like Basque or Burmese or languages like that, it's probably helped people to realize, okay, there are ways and means of doing this if that is what you want to do. And I suppose that there is that help as well, the encouragement, and you can then reach out and get in touch. The community helps in that way too.
Totally. Some of these minority language that people are learning, they thought that it's impossible to find language partners, it's impossible to find materials, but then because they took on the challenge, they have no choice. They kind of have to go take it, and then they found plenty of people, language partner to help them out, because they're because somebody's interested in learning their language, so they're all excited, and then all these people are just helping each other out. So anything, as you said, anything is possible as long as you have the interest, you have the right mindset, you have the reason to why you want to learn it. It's possible that you can actually learn the language if you want to speak. Cool. Benny, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would say that there's great power in the Add1 for the two reasons. Mainly the having a specific goal in a very small timeline that you have to work towards, but also the community, because I have had lots of projects myself that have lasted about the same, and the most stressful ones were the ones where I didn't have any support. I can think of, for instance, when I was learning Mandarin Chinese, and I was in Taiwan, I didn't know anybody, and I didn't really get a lot of positive feedback from, the internet can be both sides. It can be very encouraging and very discouraging. So I would have really liked to have been in a community of other people also learning intensive languages, because when you're doing it by yourself, you feel like you're the only person in the world trying to learn a language, and you may have a filter that helps you see the bad stuff, helps you see how poorly you're doing, helps you see that one comment on YouTube where somebody says you're an idiot, and you start to obsess about that. So it's a lot better when you have a community of people and you can tell them, I'm having problems with this, or you share a video and they give you positive encouragement and useful feedback. And I think that's a great combination of having an intensive project, so you know you're pushing yourself, but also having that support group. And that's something I hope a lot more people do in the future.
All right, so I think it's about time to announce the winner. All right. Before we announce the winner, I just want to say that I think everybody in the Add1Challenge are winners. And we had a lot of people who made a 15-minute conversation video. And I want to acknowledge everybody who participated, who put in the work, who supported each other to reach our goal together. That's the first thing. And I also want to acknowledge you three finalists, that you guys went out of your way to breaking your own barriers. You guys help each other out, help other people out in the community greatly. You guys work on the language really hard. So I want to acknowledge all three of you for your participation and your contribution to that Add1Challenge. Also, getting the result that you got in 90 days. So congratulations. So before we go into the announcement, so we can only have one winner. I wish that we are so big that we can give everybody a free round-trip ticket. We can only give one round-trip ticket. So two of you will not get the round-trip ticket, but I also want to give you guys something, right? So Benny has agreed to do a sponsor for the other two finalists. So Benny, can you tell us a little bit about what you're offering for them?
Yeah, you can have essentially everything that I got, all my digital stuff, subscription to my premium, and then if it's relevant to the language that you're learning, you can have any of my Why Language is Easy guides. I just wrote a bunch of them. I have them for English, Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, and German. And then I also have a conversation countdown, which is kind of like, it would be like your first week of the Add1Challenge, in case you want to do it for another language with videos and stuff. So you can have all of that. Just email me and I'll send them along to you.
Awesome. And also, Benny had right now he has a promotion of having a really big discount. So if you're watching this and you like to get the discount that only actually lasts until the end of the day, you can find it on this link on this page in the Add1Challenge/finale, and then go check it out from there. And then so that's the first sponsor. The second sponsor is from Oli Richards from I Will Teach You a Language, and he will also sponsor the two other finalists. His language learning foundation course. So all you gotta do is let me know. I'll hook you up with Ollie, and then he'll help you guys out. And of course, finally, you guys, all three of you guys, will get access to one more Add1Challenge without charge. So you guys can work on whatever language you want to work on. Is that cool?
Yay!
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so we are going to announce the winner now. So the winner who is going to win the free round-trip ticket is, drum roll, Jake.
Woo! Go Jake! I'm so happy for you.
Jake,
Whoa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
no red. So, I think all three of you guys did great. It's really hard to pick a winner. but we're really impressed with your progress. And as I said, it's really hard to pick a winner, but we picked you. So congratulations, Jake. So any thoughts? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go in China? Or is there any place that you want to go? Share with us.
Well, I was thinking of Taiwan, but then they write in traditional characters, so then I'm thinking Shanghai because or Beijing because I have a few language partners who I've talked with throughout the challenge there, so I might try and meet up with them. Or another person who was in the challenge, Philip, who was in my study group, and me and him have gotten quite close. So he lives in Beijing, so I might come and see him.
Okay, great. Meeting friends through that one challenge and learning the language at the same time. How cool is that?
Cool.
Okay, awesome. How are you feeling, Jake?
I don't know how I'm feeling, and just mix of emotions.
Can you believe it that you're actually going to China?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
All right, cool. Congratulations, all three of you guys, and I think that's about it. But so before we go, I want to acknowledge and thank you all three of the polyglots, Richard, Judith, and Benny, for taking the time out to contribute to the language learning community, also contribute to that one challenge. So to find them, so Richard, is there anything you want to say to close this out for you?
If you want to reach out to me, then you can go on my Speaking Fluently page on Facebook, and that's probably the best way to get in touch with me.
Awesome.
Just say congratulations to the three of you, especially to you, Jake. It's very exciting to get to go on a trip. And I'd like to say congratulations to everyone who took part, because obviously the real prize is actually the knowledge that you've acquired over the Add1Challenge.
For sure.
And so congratulations to everyone who took part and really got something out of this.
Benny? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I should pass on the same kind of congratulations. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life is learn new languages and expose myself to those new cultures. So everyone who takes part in the challenge has done a fantastic job. It was very hard to pick the winner, but I will say that you will have a blast in China. I'm sure, Jake. It's completely different, and you will have a life-altering experience, I'm sure, while you're there. And your Mandarin is fantastic, so you're going to be able to get to know the locals, which is what it's all about ultimately. And yeah, so that's my congratulations. And of course, people can find me on Fluent in 3 months, and the language guides that Brian mentioned are fluent3months.com/language-guides, and you'll see all of those until midnight Monday Pacific time at a special offer.
Awesome. Thank you, Benny. Judith?
Congratulations, everyone. I really enjoyed doing this Add1Challenge with you and seeing your progress, and it's just been amazing. Amazing what you've been able to do in these 90 days. And I'm very, very proud of all of you. You can find me on learnlangs.com, or maybe you're even coming to the Polyglot Gathering just now. If you are, please come up to me and say hi, because there will be 350 people. If you participated in this Add1Challenge, just come up and say hi, and let's talk about our experience. It's been amazing, and congratulations, Jake. Congratulations, everyone. And thank you so much, Brian, for organizing this.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So, wow, that was cool. All right, so if you like to take on a language for 90 days and join the Add1Challenge, we have one coming up soon in early May. So all you got to do is go to add1challenge.com, and you'll get notified when we open the Add1Challenge up. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for being here, and that's it for today. So I'm looking forward to the next Add1Challenge finale, and see you guys soon. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
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 Thank you.